And we are live. I can already see loads of comments coming from all of you. Before I take your comments and share my thoughts, just a reminder that we will be joined by Sunny Gavaskar live on Sports Today. And I'll try and ask him all the questions that you guys have in mind, all the questions that we discussed about, you know, um, uh, Venkatesh Iyer not bowling and KL Rahul's captaincy, all of that we're going to talk. So Sunny Gavaskar will join us in about 10 minutes from now, roughly 10 minutes from now, and I'll try and take his feed as and when he's ready. So I'll keep tracking that. I'll be on the phone with him and checking when he's ready to come on. I'll let you guys know, but we will be live throughout. We've started live right now, but we'll continue doing live. In the meanwhile, I'll try and share some of my thoughts. You guys can share your thoughts. I'll take a few comments to begin with. And Bishwajit Swain says, why no Sky? Sunny Singh says, worst Indian team of all time. Vikram Talreja is highlighting, poor middle order. So that's going to be a issue. Um, hmm. Anurag Kumar saying, आज मेरा birthday था और India हार गई. Unfortunately, Anurag, I know. I think Anurag joins us from Nepal, and we had said that maybe you'll get a birthday gift from the Indian team. Unfortunately, they've lost. I think it's a match they should have won, but they've lost. X Square is saying Rohit Sharma is missing. Absolutely right, Rohit is. But then, you look at the South African team. They are also missing Kagiso Rabada and Rick Nokia, two of their, very good bowlers. So they're also missing all of that, and yet they won. Uh, hmm. So let's see. We've got a few questions. I'll try. AJ Iskon. Seriously doubt the acumen of those who don't want Dhawan in ODI. Dhawan, Rohit, Virat are your best formula in ODI. Back them. Stop overrating IPL talents. AJ Iskon, I agree. Go back. Now, same people, when we were asking us, when I picked my 11 for this match, I had picked Shikhar Dhawan. A lot of people ask me, why have you picked Shikhar Dhawan? He's not good. But see, we tend to confuse formats. Sometimes you take a look at what's happening in the IPL or T20 cricket and confuse it. In ODI cricket, Shikhar has been one of your standout players. Last time India went to Sri Lanka, that series where he was captain, he was their highest run getter, average more than 40. He's your best player in this format. Today also, when Shikhar was batting, looked like he was batting on a different pitch compared to all the other batsmen. Till he was there, India was cruising. That against the run of play, he got out that ball from Maharaj, and he was also a bit surprised. But I think that ball turned a lot from Keshav Maharaj. Surprised Keshav Maharaj also. You could make out from his reaction. Surprised Shikhar Dhawan, and also surprised Virat Kohli, who was at the non-strikers end. You saw Virat Kohli's face when Shikhar got out. Even he was surprised. It was against the run of play. Since then, you started, getting out. So I think you're right. Shikhar, if he continues in this form, he's your opener, and so will Rohit be. I think KL in the middle order, number 4, 5 was doing well. I think that's where he has to go back. I think that's the only option. KL goes back into the middle order because middle order has been consistently your problem. Some things don't change. From the 2019 World Cup, middle order was your problem. T20 World Cup, middle order is your problem. IPL teams, all problem was middle order. And test series, middle order. I think this middle order issue that is plaguing Indian cricket across format, across different batsmen, I think is a dangerous thing. We need to find a solution to that middle order issues of the Indian team. So that is something that the Indian team has to do. I'm going to get back to it because there's a super chat. Sahil Arora is a personal question. He's asking me, what's your role in India Today group? Well, my role is to come here and speak to you guys. Yeah, I'm always on TV, sometime on television, India Today, or sometime on their social platform, whether it's Sports Today, whether it is Sports Tak. So I just come and talk. That's my role, to come and share my ideas with you, my thoughts with you, and take your thoughts and your opinions, whatever you have, and then have a two-way conversation. That's what we try to do. And today we will try and have the third person joining us in Sunny Gavaskar. He'll be joining us in about, as I said, in about 10 minutes from now, or maybe less than 10 minutes, about 7-8 minutes from now. um, So wait for it. Let him come, and then I'll try and take some of your questions to him. I'll ask some of my questions to him. Samim Hassan says, "Why have you left ESPN Cricket for?" No, I loved it there. I enjoyed working with those guys as well. 2 3 years I worked with them, but then this opportunity came, so I've come here. But that is not to say I won't be with them in the future. It's just platform doesn't matter. End of the day, we're talking cricket, so that is the thing. Let's talk about KL Rahul's captaincy. A lot of you are asking, so I'll spend some time on that, and I'll tell you what I see. Firstly, I don't want to be unfair on KL Rahul. He's just getting started, so he will take time to mature as captain. But see, these signs were there. I mentioned it earlier as well. Even in the IPL, he didn't seem to be the best man in charge. Some of those questions were doubtful. Team lost from very good positions for Punjab. Then you saw that one-off test match, again few questionable decisions there. Could have been slightly more aggressive with his captaincy, was not. Today, let's see what were the problem. I mean, in bowling, the first problem that comes to your mind is Venkatesh Iyer. You've taken him in the team, and I'm guessing it's your decision as well as that. See, people are saying, a lot of people are saying, what about Rahul Dravid's role? He's the coach. Of course, he will have a role to play, Rahul Dravid. But at the end of the day, in cricket, the buck stops with the captain. If the team wins, he gets the credit. If the team loses, you're going to ask questions of him. So eventually, it's the captain's call. Whatever team is played and whatever decisions are made. So now, questions will be asked of KL Rahul. Now, he has played Venkatesh Iyer. Fair enough. He said this at the start also that he wants to try him in that position. They're looking for a fast bowling all rounder, especially because of injury to Hardik Pandya, and they really are looking at someone like Venkatesh Iyer to do the job. Venkatesh Iyer, on his part, also has been doing it in Vijay Hazare. He's batting purposely at number 5, number 6 to show that he can bat at that order. Then he's been bowling 8 9 overs in a 50-over game in domestic cricket to show Indian selectors that he can do the job. He can be that guy if you're looking at, right? So he came into the team, you gave him a chance. I'm not blaming him, but if you've given him a chance, you give him some overs today, mainly because there was a big partnership that South Africa did. Yeah, if India were dominating in bowling, then I can understand you didn't need the six bowler. But today there was a 200-run partnership between Bauma and Van der Dusen. So what do? You want to break that partnership? You throw the ball to someone else? Where is your sixth bowler? Look at South Africa. Adam Markram is not the regular bowler, but looking at the situation, because there was Shikhar Dhawan, a left-hander batting, he gave him many overs to bowl. Markram got a wicket also of KL Rahul, albeit a right-hander. But at least with Temba Bavuma, you could see he's thinking something, trying something different. With KL, it seemed like it was a fixed template that he had. He's going to bowl in so many overs. The fast bowlers are going to bowl. He'll start with Bumrah and Bhuvi, and then they'll bowl. First change spinner will be Ashwin, and then he'll go to Chahal a little later, and Shardul will come in the middle. I think that was it's not good to pre-decide. The other thing is, I was just looking at the distribution of the bowlers. He finished Bumrah and Bhuvaneshwar's over well in advance. I think by the time the 41st over came about, the last 10 overs spell came about, Bumrah and Bhuvi had almost bowled 8 overs each. Both of them had bowled almost 8 overs. They had two overs left. That's 4 overs. So you had to go to other bowlers. I mean, that I think was a bad calculation again that maybe he should have looked at because you knew this partnership was building and then they would go hammer and tong to the end. That's what happened with Van der Dusen. So he had finished there. What happened? That resulted in about 86 odd runs going in the last 10 overs. That proved to be very expensive. And Shardul bowls the last over, gives away 17 runs. That turned out to be very expensive as well. So, bad calculation on KL Rahul's part. And I think, you expect him to get better. Luckily, again, I'm saying it, luckily, when Rohit is fit, he's going to come back. He's your regular captain, not KL Rahul. But for those people who are asking, KL as test captain, I'm just saying there's a bit of a sneak peek that you can see. This looks like the same what India did to ruthless Australia in 2001, test win and then first ODI one. They are really into the skins of the best team of this era. Robin Hazara says, Robin, that's correct. I think India is the best team of the era. I think they underestimated South Africa and they shouldn't have done that. In test cricket, they did phenomenally well. They did that well in the first ODI. Also, this ODI series is not well. I still think India man on man is a better team. I think the toss also played a crucial role because it was not an easy pitch to chase. I was just looking at the record last 6 ODIs. Team batting first, average total has been 272 odd, and every time the team batting first has been winning. So it's not easy to chase here. But having said that, I think India were in a great position as long as Virat Kohli and Dhawan were there. They were in a great position. A few questions, please, and I want you guys also to comment. Few questions. Shreyas Iyer, all the time in the world. You haven't played the Test matches. You want to prove a point here. Everyone knows that there is a weakness of Shreyas against short pitch bowling, and that's exactly what Lungi Ngidi does. Bowls him short. What does Shreyas Iyer do? Play the hook shot and get out. You know there's a plan that has been set for you. You know there is a plan, and that's what they're going to do. And do exactly that and then get out. That is the problem. No, so I'm saying someone like a Shreyas Iyer needs to make these opportunities count. Similarly, Rishabh Pant, I think uh, I mean, soft dismissal, stepped out of the crease, got out, ball was wide. Something that he should have looked at. Let's look at other dismissals that you had. I mean, and Shreyas Iyer, I think, is definitely Venkatesh Iyer as well. I mean, you want him to spend some time. There was a plan. There was a deep mid wicket exactly for that shot, and they bowled him short pitch delivery, and he's trying to hit. You don't need 10 runs and over at the time, sir. You don't need it. And see, but this is where, again, before blaming Venkatesh Iyer, is making his debut, so I don't want to blame him. But this is where, when your 11 comes, that's where you have to be careful of. You go back and see the preview, and when I was asked my 11, I had not picked Venkatesh Iyer. I had actually picked Surya Kumar Yadav precisely for this reason, that I thought 5 batsmen till Pant is not enough batting in a one day game where you're playing 50 overs. The target could be big. It's not enough batting. I would have wanted Surya Kumar Yadav. That's why I picked him in my 11 before. I knew the Indian team is going to play Venkatesh Iyer. KL Rahul had given indications, but you're not bowling him. And then on top of that, you're not bowling him. There is that inexperience in the batting. 6 batsmen that you've got. Out of that, one is a debutant. It's never going to happen. I would play Surya Kumar Yadav and Shreyas Iyer both in this team. Unfortunately, that's the best combination. Go in with 5 bowlers. Anyway, you bowled only 5 bowlers. Other thing, what happens is, because you've not taken regular batsmen and you're taking a debutant, so you're not sure about your batting, then what do? You play someone like Shardul because you think he can give you some sort of runs. He got a 50 also. But is that why he's in the team? No, he's there as a primary because of a bowler. If you're going to only use 5 bowlers, then you need a better bowler. And again, that's why I had not picked Shardul Thakur in the team, because I knew he has a tendency to leak runs. And so that's what happens. And he leaks runs. I think the 50 runs, was in a lost cause. So I'm not going to look at those runs. I would have played a Deepak Chahar or a Siraj if he's fit. We're getting to hear that he's fit. I would have played him. Sunny Singh says Surya Kumar is overrated. I don't agree with you, Sunny. Please share your comments if you guys think the same. Sunny Singh says that Surya Kumar. I think Surya Kumar, a good head on the shoulders. You need someone as experienced in him. He wouldn't have played an irresponsible shot like that. I don't think so. What we saw from Shreyas Iyer, what we saw from Venkatesh Iyer, I don't think the Surya Kumar would have played that shot. He would have made a huge difference. No one played responsibility. See, again, Virat's dismissal, I think, was lack of pace. He was disappointed, and there was a lack of pace. See, sometimes luck also plays a role. Go back into the South African inning. Van der Dusen played a similar shot, which didn't come onto his bat, got the toe end of his bat, but that went for a 4 run. That's what I'm saying. In Virat's case, it just tossed up, took the top edge and tossed up and got out. So bad luck. The ball was, gripping a bit on the pitch and coming off slowly. And that's why we told you that this is going to be a pitch that will help spin bowler. So I think Virat got a bit unlucky there. Otherwise, he was looking flawless. It was looking all set for his next 100, in ODI cricket. But unfortunately, that's bad luck. Same with, as I said, Shikhar Dhawan against the run of play. That one ball turned so much, came in, and he got out. So I think that was also unfortunate. Okay, we've got AB Sam says, Hunger Gaker in under 19 today hit 5 6s in the end, and also a fast bowler. Looks very similar to Hardik Pandya. Batting's gonna get big bucks. That's great. So it's picking a under 19 cricketer because the under 19 World Cup match is on. The unfortunate news coming from there is that 5 of India's players have tested positive for COVID. We'll keep a close eye on that and keep sharing those with you. Harsh Shukla says, seeing this type of batting in the last 2-3 years after Dhoni retirement, where do you rate MS Dhoni, the batsman, even in the last phase of his career? Harsh, I have said it many times. I saw MS Dhoni's utility till the end as a batsman, because You had many flamboyant batsmen at the start who can give you good start, but you needed a level-headed guy towards the end, especially these kind of chases where you don't need big runs. You need someone to, really plan the chase, or master the chase, as MS used to do as Yuvraj Singh used to do at one point. I mean, look at the 2019 World Cup. If MS hadn't been run out that semi-final game, India could have won from there. Of course, Ravindra Jadeja played an outstanding role, but you needed someone at the other end. Even in that game, I think, had MS stayed till the end, that run out wouldn't have happened. You never know. So this is where a player like MS becomes very important. And we've seen since the leaving of the likes of MS Dhoni, Yuvraj Singh, the Indian middle order has really suffered. And I think that's the perennial problem. Middle order problem, wo picha nahi chhod raha hai. It's been there with the Indian team. The 2019 World Cup, as I mentioned, number 4 kaun hoga, number 4 kaun hoga. That was the biggest question. Test cricket, the middle order has been an issue. T20 World Cup, the middle order is an issue. This Test series, again, middle order was an issue. Now, first ODI you've lost because middle order is an issue. When will that problem be solved? Is what we are waiting for. That's the perennial problem with Indian cricket. Satvik Sharma says, share some stories about Navjot Singh Sidhu. I will, Satvik, make a separate episode sometime. I spent many years with Navjot Singh Sidhu. I have so many stories to share. A lot of them are hilarious. So yeah, lots of stories. I will do an episode, share a lot of those stories, but that's not for today. Today I'm waiting for Sunnil Gavaskar. I believe he's going to be joining anytime now. So see, already I can see a lot of people coming here and saying Sunny sir is coming. They know before me that he is going to be coming. So as soon as he's here, I'm going to make him join the feed. See, Prathmesh is saying, Sanskar Saxena is saying Sunny ji is coming. A lot of people. Very good, sir. Rahul at number 4. I said that. I think that is a better option. KL Rahul at number 4, because your opener will be Shikhar and Rohit Sharma. Trust me when I say that. Trust me when I say that. I was just checking if Sunny sir is here. Shivane Mahajan, will you call it disappointment considering it's half fit South Africa bowling and full fit Indian batting apart from Rohit further shows how vital is Rohit? Absolutely. It is disappointing. I mean, you expect India to win. We had all thought that India is going to win this series, Shivane. And if they don't, you should be disappointed. It's not the best. See, South Africa also rebuilding. Temba Bavuma, who's their captain, is also early on in his ODI career. Van der Dusen is now beginning to show some form. Markram has been there but was considered a test specialist. Now has come into his own in white ball cricket, whether it is ODI cricket or T20 cricket. So gradually, he's picking up. I mean, this is going to be disappointing. Okay, Sunny sir is here. If those of you are joining us, I am just going to be adding him to this stream. And I'm just waiting for his connection to be through. Saibhai, I don't even have to ask you where you are. Looking at your backdrop, I think I know where you are at the moment, having been there so many times before. So is what I'm thinking, is that correct? That's where exactly you are, what I'm thinking at the moment?
That's exactly where I am.
Okay, it's a lovely place. I miss that place and that street. Some wonderful restaurants around that street and some wonderful places there. But Saima, is my connection clear? Can you see me well before
Yes,
I
I
go?
can see you and hear
Okay.
you as well.
Okay, great. So a lot of them who are listening to you in Sports Tak they got to know that you're coming here, so they've all joined here. And they, before you joined, they announced to me that Sunny sir is coming here, so they're here. Sai, my first question that everyone has on their mind at the moment is, and I'm just looking at all the comments that are coming. The biggest question was Venkatesh Iyer played as an all-rounder and he wasn't bowled at all. Does that then make any sense if you've got him? Firstly, would you have had him bowled today, considering there was a long partnership? And secondly, if you're not going to have him bowl, then would you rather go with someone like a Surya Kumar than him?
That's a pretty valid question because you're right. I think particularly when there was a long partnership of 200 plus, that is where you expect some bowling changes to take place to try and unsettle the partnership, to try and get the batsman out. And also because Venkatesh Iyer is somebody that Bavuma and Rasifon Dasan wouldn't have seen too much of. There wouldn't be too much of data about what he does, etc. So sometimes, when that happens, they take the first over or two to try and see what the bowler is doing. And in that first over, you might just get maybe 3 or 4 runs. And that actually, breaks the rhythm of the partnership. And maybe that should have been something that should have been tried. Maybe the second over might have been a little more expensive once they'd seen what he does. But if you picked him in the team as somebody who can bowl and you're making him bat at number 6, certainly I think he deserved an over or two, if not more.
Hmm. Okay, that is with regards to this match. As Aima, you said you would have probably bowled him. But just looking at the balance of this team, there is a school of thought that you're better off because of the Indian middle order and the problems that it's been having. It's better off that you're playing both Surya Kumar as well as Shreyas Iyer. So you play 6 batsmen till Pant and make do with 5 bowlers. That way, your middle order issues may just be solved because of slightly more experience. Would you also agree with that? Is that something that they can look at going into? Whether you're giving it to Venkatesh Iyer or not in terms of bowling, but just to make that middle order look a bit more solid, go with both Shreyas Iyer and Sky.
Yes, and also you mean keep Venkatesh Iyer in the team as well? Yes, I think that would make sense because which would mean that you might have to maybe omit one of the spinners from the
Yeah.
team and then have so that gives your batting a little more depth. If Venkatesh Iyer is going to be batting at 7 or even 8, uh, then I think and then you have the 4 bowlers. So, but you've got to have the confidence in Venkatesh Iyer that he will be able to bowl at least 7 to 8 out of the 10 overs. If he's not going to, you don't have that confidence, then you have to go with 5 regular bowlers and think of Venkatesh Iyer as somebody who can come in and bowl maybe 3 or 4 overs.
What did you make of Sahibai KL Rahul's captaincy today? One, we saw that in terms of bowling changes, didn't go to someone like a Venkatesh Iyer when there was a partnership happening. We also saw your 2 best death bowlers in Bhuvi and Bumrah had almost bowled 8 overs by the time the 41st over even came about. So you didn't have too many overs of theirs left towards the end, and then South Africa ended up scoring close to 86 in the last 10 overs. Small little things like that. We saw South Africa give someone like a Markram the ball because the pitch was conducive to spin bowling. Maybe, I don't know, look at a Virat or someone to bowl a few spinning deliveries. What did you make of the captaincy on the whole?
Well, when there's a partnership, sometimes the captain looks a little bit helpless, and I think that seemed to happen. This was a very very good pitch to bat on. The ball was coming onto the bat quite nicely. You could play through the line because there was not much deviation off the pitch, not much turn either. And on pitches like this, where you can just plonk your front foot and play through the line, it's that much easier. But yes, I think during that partnership, it did look as if he had run out of ideas, KL Rahul. Didn't know where to go, where to turn. You're right about the fact that, when you have your 2 most experienced death overs bowlers, Bumrah and
Bhuvi.
Bhuvi, you have to keep them for the last 5, 6 overs. Have them bowl at least two each, 4 out of those last 5, 6 overs, because that's where you can actually stop the opposition from running away with a big score. But yes, again, these are early days of his captaincy, and maybe things will turn around. Let's hope for Indian cricket's sake that things will turn around in the next couple of games.
Do you also think that Shikhar, because a lot of questions sometimes come of how long will Shikhar be given in terms of a long rope? But I think sometimes our viewers tend to confuse different formats. In one-day cricket, Shikhar has been outstanding. If you take a look at it, just that India has not been playing a lot of one-day cricket. Today, once again, he looked like the best batsman for India. So one Shikhar's role, and would you then like to see someone like a KL concentrate on that 4 or 5 spot, something that he did for the last 3, 4 series and was doing rather well at that. Because once Rohit is back, Shikhar, is also is going to get you run. There's Rituraj Gaikwad who will be sitting out. Maybe it's best for KL to look at that number 5 sort of a slot.
Not when Rohit is not around, because as an opening, he's in the team as an opening batsman in all formats of the game, KL Rahul. So I don't think there should be he should be looking to bat himself down at 4 or 5. He should be right at the top, and he got out to Markram today, but right at the top where he can lead from the front as well. And as far as Shikhar Dhawan is concerned, you're absolutely right. He's been scoring runs in the 50 overs format, not so much maybe in the 20 overs format. So you got to as long as the man's scoring runs, everything else just should be put in the background. Talk about his age, etc. Now, unless he's not scoring runs and he's not fielding well, then maybe ask questions about it. But today he got runs, so he was your highest scorer. So I don't see why there should be any talk about him.
So, I mean, do you think toss also played a role? Because we're going to look at this 31-run defeat and talk about how the middle order failed. But the other truth is that at Paarl, we've seen because the pitch tends to get slower as the game progresses. I was just looking at some totals last time around. 270 has been the average total, but majority of the times, team batting first have been winning here. Do you think that played a role, and that was also a contributory factor to the to India collapsing there?
Not for a day game. For
Hmm.
20 overs, and unless you're playing in that day night situation where the due factor comes into play, I don't think toss should make a difference. This is a day game. There was no issue about the due. It's just that South Africa with that 200-run partnership took the game away from India, and that's what we've got to accept, that maybe our bowling needs to be looked at as well, not just the batting. Our bowling also needs to be looked at. What the combination should be is something that the selection committee on tour we will be pondering for sure tonight.
I'm going to ask you last two questions. I know you have another place to go to. You have a busy night. Because you talk about the bowling, sometimes because you reckon the Indian team may not be very confident about the middle order, and that's why you sometimes tend to play Shardul because of his batting capabilities. Today again got a 50, but if it wasn't for that, you reckon maybe a Deepak Chahar or a Siraj, if he's fit, would then come ahead of Shardul, simply because as a bowler tends to leak runs once in a while.
If you're going to use somebody like a Venkatesh Iyer as a bowler, then
Hmm.
maybe you can look at as a bowler all rounder as well. What I mean, then
Hmm.
you can look at maybe a Mohammad Siraj coming in, because if he can get you a wicket, early wicket or too early, he can put the opposition on the back foot. But don't forget that this is the white ball. The white ball only has a little few overs where it works, where it moves, where it does things. So once that is done, then even your first change bowler, and Siraj will be a first change bowler if Bhuvneshwar and Bumrah are bowling. So by the time Siraj comes into bowl, or even a Deepak Chahar, unless Deepak Chahar is going to open the bowling, the ball will have lost its shine. Will the seam will have flattened it just a little bit. They will not get the same kind of help.
Sorry, Saib, I'd lost you there. Never mind. I'll ask you the last question towards the end, I think. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, again.
Okay, final question, and because we're getting a lot of question on Virat Kohli, he looked very, very good today, as he does in white ball cricket. Seemed like primed to get another 100. Uh, I mean, that I think the ball stopped and came onto the bat, was slightly early into the shot. What must he do more than concentrate on batting? Do some havan or something, because looks good, but the stars are not aligning.
Yeah, well, I think more than him doing any Havan, I think all of us who love Indian cricket should be saying that let the first mistake that he makes comes after he has scored 150. That is what we should all be saying.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting way of looking at things. Sorry, bhai. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you have a busy night ahead, but thanks so much for taking our time. There were so many messages for you. I couldn't take it because we have paucity of time, but you came here, shared your views. I'm sure it must be very cold where you are, but it must be lovely as well. So have a
No,
good
look
time.
at me, just a shirt. No, not cold.
Because it must be centrally heated where you are.
Yes, yes. Okay.
That's right. Okay. Take care, Sami bhai. Thank you
All
so
righty.
much.
Okay, Nikhil. See you.
All right. See you. Okay, so that was Sunny Gavaskar. Always a privilege talking to him. Shared a lot of thoughts here, and I'm sure you got insight into what he had to say. Very interesting. I'm going to just pick for those of you who joined us late. Few things that he said. Very, very interesting. Because I asked him about KL Rahul, maybe he should start concentrating on 4 and 5. That area is weak. To which he said that no, I think because Rohit is not there, let him open. Once Rohit comes back, you can look at Shikhar Dhawan. He spoke about it, said that he's an absolute legend in the one day format. He has been scoring runs. Sometimes it's unfortunate that the sword keeps hanging on his head. So something that we need to look at. Then Harsh says, "How can we be the best team in the era, winning 2 Test series in Australia? Doesn't make sure that we compare to the Aussies dominating. Long way off." Harsh, thanks so much for your comments. He has a point saying that how we saying India best team of the era, but that's also because they did play the World Test Championship final. They are dominating. Don't forget they're also leading in England, so there's a good chance they win that series as well. But yeah. See, also you got to see how the other teams see. Other teams look at South Africa when they won this series at home, not even away, at home. They're saying one of the best victories that they've had just tells you how much other teams respect this Indian team. So sometimes you've got to see from the eyes of the other teams as well. And I think this Indian team at the moment is an envy of a lot of other countries as well. Yes, they've had a few dips in T20 World Cup just now, World Test Champion final, but otherwise they've also been doing very well. Go to Australia and ask how much they love this Indian team. uh, yeah, so the other thing that I said that you'll have to look at how you're going to be looking at the bowling. One thing he suggested that if you're going to play, he suggested play Venkatesh Iyer and play Sky. So Venkatesh Iyer is your fifth bowler. That extends your batting. It's not a bad option. Extends your batting of a bit more and show some trust in Venkatesh Iyer's bowling. That's interesting. Coming in for someone like a Shardul Thakur, is interesting that he mentioned. So that's something I think the Indian team can look at. Other than that, for Virat Kohli, I think he gave the line of the chat. He said that we should all hope that the first bad shot that Virat plays, it comes after he scored 150. Usually, what is happening is that he's a bit unlucky. He's looking very good, but that first bad shot and he gets out. Sometimes that goes your way, and that bad shot only comes once you got 100 or something like that. But today was looking good, and when him and Shikhar were there on the crease, you could have won. KL Rahul's captaincy left much to be desired. Sunnybai pointed out that he was very surprised when that partnership was happening. Why did you not lose someone like a Venkatesh Iyer? That's something that the Indian team could have looked at, but that's something they did not. Sanskar Saxena says Gaba breach day ruined. Absolutely, Sanskar. What a day it was exactly a year ago for Indian cricket. But you've lost a one day, but I still won't compare it. I'll take that win any day. That was so huge that this one loss doesn't spoil it that much. You would have loved to have win this game, but that Gaba win exactly on this date, 19th of January 2021. What a day it was. The Hindi commentary said in Vivek Razdan's word, "Toota hai ghamand Gaba ka," he said. I'll never forget those lines. Rishabh Pant batting 89 not out. Washington Sundar giving him company. How India won that game. Counter-attacking cricket at Gaba. Outstanding. It gave me goosebumps. I don't think anything can compare. 10 Monday losses also in this day will not spoil that victory for me. Yeah, it would have been good. They would have won, but still not ideal. Chell bowled well, yeah. Somebody's asking about Chell. I think he bowled well. You have to give credit to Van der Dusen. The way he employed that sweep shot against both Ashwin as well as Chahal, I think that was incredible. That sweep shot that he used, and really forced them to change their line and length. That is what is a mark of a good batsman. And Van der Dusen, as tentative as he was looking in Test match cricket, he looks as assured in white ball cricket. We saw that in the T20 World Cup also. He was looking very, very good. So Van der Dusen in white ball, what an innings on a pitch which is so sluggish. It's tough to get runs on. Run a ball would be considered great, as Virat and Shikhar were also showing. He got a strike rate of 124 or something. That's outstanding. Absolutely outstanding batting by Van der Dusen. Clearly the man of the match. Somebody is saying Van der Dusen's stumping was outstanding. Absolutely, yeah. Fantastic. Umesh Dey saying fantastic stumping by him. Didn't give, I think the bowler needs to thank Van der Dusen for that wicket. Didn't give a second to Rishabh Pant. That was outstanding. Van der Dusen's also, Quinton de Kock is also like that. Sorry, sometimes, that line, somebody is saying, "Toota hai ghamand Gaba ka." Vansh Jain is saying, absolutely. "Toota hai Gaba ka ghamand" was the line. What goosebump moments are. Exactly 1 year before this. How's my health? Vansh is saying, my health is much better, yeah. That's why I'm sipping some hot chai right now. To keep my throat better so I can keep talking to you. But it was great time talking to Sunny Bhai, who joined us live from London. I kept talking about the location and people were saying, where is he? Where is he? I recognized that location. He was in London at the moment. Let's praise India. Everest top. But India played well, yeah. One-off loss. I think something needs to be done about it. I think you have to really look at a few things. Some changes you'll have to make. I would have Surya Kumar Yadav in this team, come what may. Also remember, from now on, when you play, the pitches will not be very conducive to spin bowling in the remaining 2 ODIs. So still, there are 2 matches to go. So things can change. On that note, Van der Dusen played like Justin Kemp. That's a very interesting name. Siddhant Singh has got Justin Kemp. I remember, huh? What a tall, big hitting batsman from South Africa. Justin Kemp, impact player. He didn't play like Justin Kemp actually. Justin Kemp used to just tonk the ball. Van der Dusen played a very mature inning, very sharp, mature inning. Not just bang bang. Very calculated. Was taking his singles and doubles too, hitting fours and a few sixes, but very matured inning by Van der Dusen. Watch out for him. Ah, that's all, guys. We'll see you now. See you on the eve of the next match. That is tomorrow. So we'll just come tomorrow, discuss about what changes can be made. Sunny has already given a suggestion. Those of you who've joined us now, go back, see that chat, and you know what all he suggested. Subscribe to Sports Today if you haven't. All right, that way you get to know every time we are live and come up with these updates. Shubham says no Rohit, no party. He's a big Rohit Sharma fan. Of course, India is missing him, but they're also missing, remember, Hardik Pandya and Ravindra Jadeja. Hardik, again, you look at the T20 cricket and say, oh, what has he been doing? Look back at all the one-day series India has played in the last few years. The one in Australia, one in at home to England. He was your, X factor. He was scoring a lot of runs. So you're missing him. And Ravindra Jadeja, I don't have to say his contribution. Shardul gave an all-round performance and Shikhar again performed well. I think in search of gold, we should not lose the diamonds. Rajat Mittal, line of the evening. Very nice. Very nice. I like your line. Shikhar was outstanding. But Shardul, even though he's good, see, that's not what you had him in the team for. You had him for his bowling skill. It was a bit expensive. That 50 is of not too much use. I think between a Siraj or a Shardul, I may be tempted to play Siraj because I need bowlers who can win you matches, right? Do their job and leave the batting to the batsmen, especially if you play one batsman extra. So yeah, on that note, good night, guys. It was lovely talking to you. Does Kohli seems disinterested? Kunal Kakani says, not at all. I thought he was very interested. Did you see any disinterest while he was batting? Looked like he was going to get 100. First mistake he makes, he gets out. Sunny Bhai said that maybe next time the first mistake he makes should come after he's got 100 or 150. He was looking totally interested. Even on the field, looked very interested. Not as animated as a captain, but of course he doesn't have that responsibility, but looked interested completely. Kunal? Debendra Kumar Sahu, Nikhil Bhai, you're an inspiration to me. Talk to me in English. Now I prefer always to speak in English. Debendra Kumar, this is an English channel, so I talk in English. But I'm so happy that you join me and you listen and you send your messages. It's great. We're part of the family and that's how we can discuss. I remember all your names and we love to talk to you and take your questions. बट यार हिंदी में भी बात करता हूँ बिल्कुल अच्छे से. जब आज तक पे जाता हूँ तो हिंदी में कर लेता हूँ. I can speak Hindi as well as I can speak English. So no bias in terms of language. जो प्लेटफॉर्म है, जो प्लेटफॉर्म की लैंग्वेज है, that's what I try to speak in. But thank you so much for your kind comments. Please, thank you. Somanshu Priyadarshi says, can Shikhar and Venki open and Rahul at 5? I suggested that to Sunny Bhai who joined us, Somanshu. But Sunny Bhai says not now. Maybe future, yes. But right now you got to play Rahul at the top with Shikhar. When Rohit comes back, maybe you can look at KL there. But Venki, no opening, there's plenty of option. Yeah, there's Shikhar, Rohit, KL. And don't forget, Ruturaj Gaikwad is also sitting on the bench. We need someone at number 6. If Venkatesh Iyer is trying to prove that he can bat at 6, let him try and do that. Yeah, give him some more matches. Don't look at him at one match. This is the first match he played. So no, I think open should be that only. विकास बेलीदा मिडिल ऑर्डर के बारे में इसे कुछ कमेंट क्या बोलूं. मिडिल ऑर्डर पूरा डिस्कशन के शुरुआत में मिडिल ऑर्डर के बारे में आई सेड दैट द प्रॉब्लम विद मिडिल ऑर्डर इज इट्स नॉट क्लिकिंग इन ऑल फॉर्मेट्स. सेम स्टोरी 2019 वर्ल्ड कप, सेम स्टोरी 2021 T20 World Cup, same story. South Africa series, just now you lost test matches, same story happening in Monday. What can I say? Need to fix it. We need to fix it. That's all. Today, Sky Sports ignored to show Virat while fielding. Arindam, I think they show Virat whenever they can. Yeah, because he's not captain. Na? That's why you don't see the camera on him too much now. That will change, of course. You're not used to. It's been so many years you're watching him as captain that now the camera will be more on captain because the broadcaster tries to show the decision which bowler he's calling in. So it'll be on KL Rahul or Rohit Sharma when he comes. That's why not too much. But still, I thought the camera was on Virat many times. I saw him. I saw him. Nachiket is saying Rahul has a 50 plus average in middle order. Absolutely right, sir. That's exactly why I'm saying that in long term, and that's why I suggested to Sunny Bhai as well. In long term, I think you may want to go with him as at number 5. In long term, when Rohit is back, because Rahul was doing very well at that position, and that's one area where we seem to have a problem. And if you have someone who can tackle that area, find a solution, then why not go to him? So I think, yeah, Rahul eventually will come to your middle order. Will. Abhishek Dikshit, who will be next? UV, Rena, and Dhoni for India. That is the biggest problem, Abhishek. That वो next कौन है? That is the biggest question, $1 million question. I hope someday we say that Venkatesh Iyer and Shreyas Iyer and all Sky and all these guys are your next Dhoni, UV, and Rena. But it's easier said than done. Those are once in a lifetime player, and they don't come that often. So it's not going to be easy. But yeah, the hunt is on. The hunt is on. I thought Hardik was beginning to be that guy. He did play some very good innings, but injuries have been an issue with him. So I hope he sorts that out, comes back stronger. So because he's still young, age on his side, and he's shown that he can get you quick runs and big runs, batting lower down the order, which is not easy. So with all that in mind, I hope he comes back for the sake of Indian cricket. You may like him, you may hate him, but the fact is that he's done it at that level, and that talent is there. So I hope he fulfills that talent as far as Hardik Pandya is concerned. Creative man, how can I speak English fluently like you? Yeah, just join us here every day. That's how. Vikas Velida, Pant throws his wicket away. Yeah, sometime that will happen with Pant, but he'll win you matches also. Today was a bit of a freak dismissal, I must say. KLS keeper is an option, but I think right now to drop Pant, no. Pant also. Uh, Ayush Gupta had a suggestion. Maybe in the future, if you think Pant for a long time doesn't perform in white ball cricket, then you want to go down that road. Not a bad option. Can do it. But that also keeps changing. At one point, Virat said he is going to be a wicket keeper batsman, and then that thing went out of the window, and then Pant again came back. So these things also change. Anurag Kumar, love from Kathmandu. Love to you also. Kasto Chata Pai. Ke Kari Raja. धेरै रात भएको छ तपाईँ भात खाएको कि खाएको छ कि छैन So I hope you're doing good, Anurag. Take care. Happy birthday once again. Sumanshu says three seamer should be Bumrah, Siraj, Shardul. Bumrah, Siraj, Shardul. I agree with you, but maybe for Shardul, I'll go with Bhuvi. I think Bhuvi is needed. He did show some form. I think you need a good informed Bhuvi for white ball cricket. He has that ability in the death as well as earlier as well. He can get you wickets. Today he was looking good. साहिल अरोरा, निखिल, which car did you buy? अब तो बता दो. नहीं यार, ये सब चीजें यहाँ नहीं बताएंगे. मैं एक दिन vlog बनाऊंगा, कार की drive पे जाएंगे. I'll make a vlog so that you guys can join me on that drive. Someday I'll do that. Then you'll get to know, but not today. ठीक है, we've been on for almost 40-45 minutes, close to 1,000 of you watching. Thank you so much. Kunal says love from Dubai. Love to you as well, Kunal. Take care. Thanks so much for joining. It was lovely chatting to all of you. Somebody said, did we miss Jadeja? Yes, we did. I mentioned that. Kamlesh, my friend from Gujarat, how's my health? Much better. Hopefully I'll be back in office by the second or the third ODI. So I'll see you from our office then. Till then, good night, guys. Lovely chatting with you. See you tomorrow. Bye.